This old woman made a deal with a dangerous devil of hell to ruin her grandson's life. In return, the devil started sucking a little blood from his body every day. Actually, all this started in 1999 with a happy family in Brooklyn. Where today, the daughter of the house was celebrating the 10th birthday of Rosario. But after taking a picture with everyone, Rosario's grandmother suddenly went into her room. And at that time Rosario was looking out of the window and thinking about her bright future. Then her sick mother Alina came to Rosario and said that she called her grandmother from the room to pray. And Rosario started going towards her grandmother's room. But then Rosario's father Oscar stopped him and said that everything will be fine soon, and they will be able to give Rosario the life they want to give her. Actually, Rosario used to live with her family in Mexico, but in search of a better life. Oscar illegally brought everyone to the US. Anyway, when Rosario went to Grislanda's room, Grislanda was not there. But there were soil marks all over the room that were going to the closet. But when Rosario opened the closet, she found a cloth covered with insects and blood. Seeing this, she was going out in fear that Grislanda suddenly followed her, but no one knows when and where she came from. Then Rosario asked her to go out and pray with everyone, but Grislanda refused her and gave a strange answer, that she does not trust all this because she trusts someone else. Rosario did not understand all this, but then she noticed that blood was coming out of Grislanda's hand, but she hid her wound and sent Rosario out, and she came out in a while. But when she came out, her body was black, as if she had done some evil magic, and Rosario was very scared to see her. So now the story goes on for 26 years, where in Manhattan, Rosario had now become a big stockbroker of Wall Street, and she had a lot of money. But by then, her family was scattered, because Alina and Oscar got divorced, and Rosario decided to live with Oscar because of Alina's disease, because she knew that Alina would die in a while, and she never wanted Alina's death to be in front of her. But when Alina died, Grislanda was left alone. But Rosario never went to meet her out of fear. And today, when she was getting ready to go to the office, she got a call from Grislanda, but Rosario ignored her call. After this, when she went out of the office, she met a security guard named Miguel, who wanted to earn money by putting his money in stocks through Rosario. But Rosario now considered herself quite big, so she made an excuse in front of Miguel and went straight to her office, where she got a call from Grislanda again, but this time Rosario ignored her. But when she was going home, she had called Grislanda, but on the call someone told her that Grislanda died this morning due to falling from the stairs. As soon as she heard this, Rosario's body became cold, and she was very saddened by Grislanda's death. Now she immediately told Oscar about it and started going to Grislanda's house. Oscar also told her to go there and wait, because she was going to be a little late to come to Griselda's house due to the snowfall. At the same time, Rosario had reached the subway near Grislanda's apartment. That's when she suddenly felt like she saw Lena, but she didn't pay much attention to it and reached Grislanda's house near Marty. Then Marty took her to Gris' room, where he told her that he had called the ambulance, which was coming in a while. When he told this and started going, he was surprised to see the candles burning nearby, because he had extinguished these candles a while ago, but somehow it burned on its own. After this, when Marty left, Rosario sat next to Grislanda and started crying. And later, when she removed the cloth on her body to see Grislanda's face, her soul trembled, because Grislanda's whole body had a lot of big cuts on it. Then suddenly, Rosario heard the sound of dishes falling from the kitchen and went to the kitchen, in fear, but there she saw dirty utensils on which insects had grown due to rotting food. Seeing this, Rosario threw them in the dumpster and started waiting for the ambulance to come. Then Marty called her and told her that a lot of people were injured due to the snowfall outside, because of which the ambulance will take a little more time to come. Then Rosario agreed to it, but she was a little scared to see Grislanda's body again and again. So she took her body to a room with a cloth and laid it down. But then she saw Grislanda's face moving, and an insect came out of her nose. Seeing this, Rosario was a little scared at first, but later she picked up a cloth and started cleaning the insect, during which the insect suddenly entered Rosario's body and started trying to go inside her brain, which was hurting Rosario a lot. But before the insect reached her brain, Rosario pulled it out of her body through the ear. Rosario was really very scared of this. But then she looked at the floor, where there were soil marks on the ground like her childhood, which were going towards the closet. Then the scared Rosario opened the closet again, which had a lot of black magic stuff behind Grislanda's clothes, in which there was a secret door behind the animal's head to the blood-stained clothes and the closet. That door was closed with a lock and a devilish mark. Seeing this, Rosario was thinking about it, when suddenly someone knocked on the door loudly, and when Rosario opened the door, Grislanda's neighbor Joey was in front of her. A while ago, Gris took her air fryer, and Joey started asking Rosario for it back, on which Rosario told him to take his air fryer later, because I don't know where Grislanda has kept it. And saying this, Rosario closed the door on his face. But Joey knocked on the door again and told Rosario that you should put ice on your hand, because his hand was burnt. Hearing this, when Rosario paid attention to his hand, he was completely blown away, because where that insect had entered his body, there was a devilish mark. Looking at which, It seemed as if someone had made that mark on Rosario's hand with a hot iron. Now after this, Rosario had tied his hand with a cloth. That's when he saw that devilish mark on Grislanda's feet. And when he removed the cloth from her feet, Rosario saw a thorny thread on Grislanda's leg, and the same thread had the key to the secret door in the closet. Seeing this, Rosario was now more afraid in this house. But his curiosity forced him to remove the key from Grislanda's leg, and after removing the key, she started going to that secret room, in which, as soon as he reached, his legs stood up out of fear, because Grislanda had set up a dangerous black magic in that room, in which there was a voodoo doll with a lot of stuff, on which the name of a dangerous devil who asks for the sacrifice of the blood of Kobiand was written, which is also called the god of death in Palo Dharma. Anyway, Rosario, fearing, put it back. But the scary things kept there were not over yet. There was also an iron pot kept there, in which Rosario's photo, a bunch of her hair, a broken tooth in her childhood, and a tampon used during her first period. But seeing all this, the ground slipped under Rosario's feet, because his grandmother had done this black magic on Rosario, not on anyone else, because of which he was regretting his decision to come here. That's when he heard someone's growling behind him, and when he looked back in fear, he saw a shadow going towards the dark room, which attacked Rosario at the very next moment and peeled off her cheek. From which Rosario came back to the room, running away in fear, and he immediately decided to go back from here. Then on the way, he met Joey, who told him about the bad weather outside, because of which a curfew was imposed outside. But Rosario was so scared that she couldn't stay in that room for a second. So she ignored Joey and tried to book a cab outside, but because of the curfew, she couldn't get any cab. So she quickly went to the subway, where a man's dog standing in the dark started barking at her. Out of fear, Rosario ran towards the gate of the subway. But that dog also got herself released and started walking towards her. When Rosario reached the gate, Alina came in front of her, who hit her head on the subway gate many times. And Rosario fainted and fell to the ground, and by then, that dog also came and started tearing her coat. It felt like an unknown force was forcing Rosario to go back to Griselda's house. Rosario also understood this sign, and left that dog and went back to Griselda's house. As soon as she left, she searched on Google about the events that were happening with her and the black magic in Griselda's room. And then she found out about a devilish religion called Palami Humbi. Then Rosario didn't leave that chain, even after being scared, and quickly locked that secret room with that Nagan. After that, as soon as she came out, she quickly took out her phone and started searching to break the curse of Palo. But before she could find out anything, the phone stopped working because the battery was dead. In anger, Rosario hung up the phone, and then she saw a small secret room on the table, in which Griselda had kept the entire book of Palo Dharma. Seeing this, Rosario immediately started reading about breaking the curse of Kobiand in that book. It was written in the book that if you want to break the curse of Kobiand, then you have to put the blood of those two people on the Naga on which the curse was made. And then that curse will end, and the soul and body of the person who ended the curse will be of Kobiand. Now, because Griselda had ruined Rosario's life, Rosario, without thinking anything, cut her finger after washing a knife with water and started dropping her blood in that Naga. After that, she tried to cut Griselda's finger with the same knife. But the surprising thing was that there was no blood coming out of Griselda's body. Seeing this, Rosario was panicking that her dead phone started working on its own, and she got a call from Griselda, in which Griselda was repeatedly apologizing to Rosario. But then again, Rosario's ghost came in front of Rosario and started scaring her, which made Rosario even more scared, and before Alina could get to her, she put all her strength into the knife in Griselda's body. This time, finally, the blood flowing from her body fell into the Nagangas, but Alina had not disappeared from there yet, which meant that the curse was not broken yet. But before Rosario could do anything, Alina grabbed her by the neck and vomited black blood and insects on her. But then again, Joey came outside. As soon as he came inside, the atmosphere of the house was completely quiet. Actually, Joey didn't know about Griselda's death before, and now when he found out, he apologized to Rosario and told her that Griselda loved Rosario a lot. She just prayed every day that Rosario gets everything she wants in her life, and the sounds of her prayers reached Joey's room. Now, after knowing all this, Rosario was completely surprised, because until now she thought Griselda was so wrong. But the real truth was far from it. Now after thinking a little about this, Rosario realized that Griselda had used Rosario's hair not for the bad, but for the good, in which she had asked Kobe to fulfill all her wishes. And because of that, Rosario was able to earn so much name and money today. Now after knowing all this, she quickly ran towards Griselda's book, and after reading some of it, she went back to that secret room, where she took out the note in that voodoo doll and started reading it, in which it was written that after making any kind of deal with Kobe the Bell, that person will have to give Kobe blood every day who has made a deal with him. But if for any reason that person did not give Kobe blood even for a day, then that very night Kobe will come and kill that person for whom the poison was asked, which meant that Kobe will come to kill Rosario tonight, because of her death, Griselda was unable to give Kobe blood. Then suddenly Rosario heard Alina walking behind her, afraid of which, when she came out, she saw Griselda holding her book tightly in her hands. Then Rosario got that book out of her, and saw the way to stop Kobe. Then she found out that there was only one way to stop Kobe, that the person who started the poison should kill himself and give his soul to Kobe forever. But Rosario's grandmother had already died. But then something came to Rosario's mind and she decided to imprison Kobe in Griselda's body, so that Kobe will be imprisoned in her grandmother's body and she will be saved. This process was also written in Griselda's book. That's why Rosario wore Griselda's jacket without delay and took out some blood and hair from Griselda's dead body, after which she started repeating the process while reading in the book like black magic. But in the meantime, Marty standing outside the room started knocking on the door loudly, because the ambulance came outside, because of which Rosario had to stop that process in the middle. But in such a situation, she could not give Griselda's body to Marty, and she also had to complete that process, so she quickly put out the room's candles and took Griselda to her secret room. But when Marty came to that room, he did not see Griselda's body and Rosario there, because of which he was surprised and went downstairs. Now Rosario was about to come out of that room when Alina came there again and started scaring her. She was about to kill Rosario, but Rosario somehow managed to get out. But when she went out, she saw that Griselda's body was missing and stuck to the ceiling of her house. Seeing this, Rosario was shocked. Then she started trying to get Griselda down with the help of a stick, and Griselda's body fell on top of her. After this, Rosario got up quickly and started chanting again, wearing Griselda's jacket. Then Griselda's mouth opened on its own, and the hand of the stick came out of it. Seeing this, Rosario's soul trembled, and then as soon as she slowed down the chanting, Alina came in front of her and hit her head on the wall, which made Rosario unconscious. After this, when her eyes opened in her dream, Alina was in front of her, who was now looking completely human. Chachi told Rosario that I and your grandmother never hated you because of your decision. We just wanted to see you always happy, because we loved you a lot. Then Rosario also apologized to her for her mistake and told her that she also loved Alina a lot, but she couldn't see her dying. Now after saying so much, the two of them hugged each other, but then Alina started saying, in a devilish voice, that I did so much for you, but even after that you left me in my bad time. That's why you are very selfish. And after hearing all this, Rosario realized that in fact, Alina was not in front of her for so long, but Kobe, indeed. Soon as she knew this, Rosario started trying to get away from her. But Cobain grabbed her head and sent her to that yard, where in her childhood, Oscar, Griselda, and Alina were trying to cross the border and come to Brooklyn. At that time, Oscar and Griselda, escaping from the army, took Rosario and crossed the border through the barbed wires. But Alina was stuck in those barbed wires with a man next to her, during which that man, covered in blood, gave Alina a cross. But immediately after that, the man died of pain. But Alina was lucky that she somehow got herself released and went to Oscar. Now when she opened her eyes again, Rosario knew everything. That's why he was feeling very bad for Alina. But right in front of him was not Alina, but Cobain. When he came close to her, Rosario started chanting the same thing again, due to which Cobain's body was pulled back into his body through Griselda's mouth. Then Rosario breathed a sigh of relief and sat on the ground. After this, her eyes opened when Oscar reached Griselda's house in the morning. Rosario told him everything then. Later, after taking care of her, Oscar sent her body for Griselda from her book, after praying for her ambulance, and they both started cleaning. Then Rosario got an album and started looking at her 10th birthday pictures in it. Then she saw a picture of Oscar's fingers in which there were cuts. And then Rosario realized that the person who started that black magic was not Griselda but Oscar. Now she immediately went to Oscar to talk about it, where Oscar was going to put blood on that Then Oscar told Rosario that I knew. Griselda knew about Paolo, and you were very happy on your 10th birthday, and you were sure that you would become a very big person, and so that your hopes do not break. I opened Griselda's book without telling her, and to fulfill all your happiness, I did a blood ritual. But Griselda saw me and understood that they were stuck in a big problem. But despite that, she just told me to go from there. And instead of me, she started giving herself to Kobe every day. Because if she didn't do that, then Cobain would come and kill you, and that's why Griselda had so many cuts on her body. Now, because Griselda was dead, Oscar was going to give herself to Cobain every day. Then Rosario heard this and heard it all at once, and she told Oscar not to put blood in that Nagangas, but by then it was too late. Then as soon as Oscar's blood dripped into Nagangas, Cobain came into his body because Rosario had already put his blood in Nagangas to finish that black magic. And if the one who does black magic and for whom this black magic is being done, if both of them's blood goes into Nagangas, then the soul and body of the person who does black magic will belong to Cobain. Cobain then attacked Rosario in anger, and Rosario started trying to escape from there. But Cobain was about to catch him and kill him. That's when Joey came from behind and started hitting Cobain with an air fryer. But Cobain got even more angry and he broke Joey's neck and killed him, after which he also grabbed Rosario by the neck. But before he could kill him, Rosario stabbed him in the neck with a scissor, which caused Oscar's human body to die and Cobine's strength to weaken. Now, after Oscar's death, Rosario cried a lot. But later she decided that she would not keep anything given by Cobind with her. And later she left her job and started her own firm, in which she started helping poor people to put money in the stock market. Today she helps the guard Miguel who works in her company, and after her death, she starts lighting candles in front of her family photo. But then suddenly, the glass of that photo started breaking on its own, and the candle was also extinguished on its own. The next moment, Cobin's hand suddenly comes out of Rosario's mouth, and this story ends here. So if you like the video, do like the video. And if you also like to listen to horror movies or stories like me, then subscribe to this channel quickly, because I often bring such interesting videos for you. So come on, I will meet you now with another scary story like this.